First up, we have Rocket DNA, ASX code RKT, market cap of around $9.2 million. Rocket DNA specializes in advanced data analytics and AI solutions to help businesses improve decision-making and operational efficiency. Presenting today is Christopher Clark, the CEO and Managing Director. Christopher, thanks for your time. Over to you.
Good day, Peter. Thanks for having me. And thanks, Abby. If you wouldn't mind skipping to the next slide. A little bit about Rocket DNA for those who may not know us. We're essentially an AI and autonomous drone data company. We leverage using AI and autonomous drones to provide mission critical data services for enterprise customers. And essentially what this means is that we understand that drones are a really big part of the world within our traditional customer base, being the mining sector, where drones are a really big part of how they get how they sort of collect information and be able to make really big decisions. And thanks, Abby, if you want to go to the next slide. What really makes Rocket DNA quite unique is, number one, is in terms of the sort of barriers to entry. So this is referring to the regulatory requirements it takes to take drones and operate them, not only with sort of long range or beyond visual line of sight, but also more recently autonomously and remotely from remote operating centers. So combining this autonomous drone data collection that's happening on the front end at the customer sites, we're also then combine our solution with an AI-centric software integration, which really allows for the very fast processing as well as the analytics and reporting of the data. So as a company, we're really focused on identifying those workflows, those roles, or those tasks within these environments and looking at how we can automate that entire process. And what we really find quite interesting as we've sort of started to venture into this autonomous space, because autonomy is quite an easy sell in any kind of market. What we're starting to find is a lot of demand that's coming out of even the public sector and the government space as well. We've recently deployed to a project doing monitoring of critical assets and infrastructure for a local government body as well. And more recently, we've had some really great news around the Western Australian Police as well, who have selected vendors as well as Rocket DNA to really help them address what they call drone as a first responder. So a really growing sort of addressable market that we're finding in our space, combined with the unique approvals that Rocket DNA has got, and compounded by the experience that we have built over the couple of years, makes this a really exciting business to keep an eye on. Thanks, Abby. So the quick sort of company snapshot, we really kind of feel we punch above our weight in that is with a 10 million market cap company, but last year just doing under sort of 7 million in revenues. We've recently did got an unsecured facility from one of our large shareholders who supported us at a really great interest rates, just to sort of boost those cash reserves a bit. That's going to be on top of these numbers that you see, which is sort of was done post our quarterly as well. And that's really about integrating, using those funds to integrate with these enterprise customers. When you're dealing with the large Rios of this world, it takes a long time to get onto those sites and to get into those systems. But once you're in, you really find that those contracts start to really evolve into long-term deals. And that's really about the basis in which we've built our business upon. The vast majority, sort of 2/3 of our revenues are all recurring, so contracted revenue that's greater than a year as well. And this is the focus of the businesses, go in, develop the opportunity, get sticky, and then turn into long-term contracts. So our revenue continues to sort of grow year on year. But with the new autonomous products that we bought in the last year, we're really expecting a lot stronger years to come. Thanks, Abby. So our traditional customer base has all been in the tier 1, tier 2 mining space. We've been in this business for over 12 years, providing drone data services to these particular clients, not only in mining, in agriculture, and as mentioned, now branching into the government and critical asset infrastructure space as well. And we're really seeing this unique sort of move towards really removing people from these dangerous areas, as well as just sort of evolving the workforce to automate those dull, dirty, and really sort of overall boring sort of tasks now that were once maybe sexy 5-10 years ago. You're finding the traditional, the overall sort of trend going towards autonomy as a whole, and we're sort of flowing with that. Thanks, Abby. Looking across the spectrum in terms of what we offer, especially within the mining space as well, drone data is something that really kind of touches every single department within these verticals. So we've traditionally found a lot of our data being used in the survey space, but as you're starting to increase the frequency and the availability of the drone data through the autonomous XBot platforms, we're starting to see a lot more acceptance, a lot more usage coming out of the exploration, the geotechnical, the geology space. We're really sort of feeding this drone data into a lot of the software platforms that have developed over the last couple of years to help these miners and other customers make a lot more faster decisions. And what's really incredible about drone technology now coming to the commercial space is that it has an immediate impact, and you're able to see a really quick ROI on customers that sort of bring this technology into their work streams as well, and they're able to get that benefit back in a very short period of time. Thank you, Abby. So what sort of changed over the last couple of years? Well, been in business for 12 years, built up those really great recurring revenue streams, but realized as the industry changes, as new technology becomes available, we really started to see the sort of complexities and the problems that our customers were experiencing in trying to get people to site, really the inconsistencies of the reporting, the availability of the data just was becoming a really big issue. And so Rocket DNA set out to create its first autonomy platform, which we call our XBot solution. This is all manufactured locally to electrical standards. And we've had these units sort of deployed out over the last 18 months. And really these hazardous environments, we've seen 47-degree heat, we've seen cyclones, really dusty environments, flash floods, and we're pretty much just waiting for the locusts, and we would have seen it all. But these units continue to fly day after day, autonomously collecting data that's all been sort of pre-configured and flying on a scheduled basis. And what you're finding immediately is this ability to get this real-time situational awareness for those mining customers, so they can make those decisions really, really quickly. Again, speaking to our moat, it took about 2 years to get the beyond visual line of sight, the remote approvals. So it's not just about the hardware; it's about the regulatory approvals as well. And once you connect these systems into a Starlink system, you can start expanding on a global scale. So we have remote operating centers across Adelaide, Perth, and even in Johannesburg as well, allowing us to really get to a 24/7 offering. Thanks, Abby. So this gives you a quick sort of brief view of one of the operating centers as well, and how the teams are monitoring it. So again, with that global connectivity option, you're able to view the drones in real time. We provide remote operators who are really who are sort of performing that safety oversight, making sure that the drones are safe to fly. We're mitigating any kind of airspace risks as well, monitoring the units on the ground. So there's always that human in the loop that provides that final sort of go no go. Thanks, Abby. So one of the applications in which we use our XBots is, we call it then the survey bot. So these would be the units that are deployed specifically within a mining or engineering environment, and customers who are looking to get very fast and frequent reporting data sets of what's happening on their site. These units are all RTK and survey grade pieces of a kit that are able to fly multiple times a day. And generally what we see is, once we sort of put this on site, the surveyors start using it, but then very quickly everyone sort of starts coming out of the woodwork and starts requesting more and more data, which is really great. And what we're seeing is that at a baseline or foundational level, you're using it to measure your production, what are you digging, taking out of the ground, but even from providing very frequent 360 panos, so that the management team can get a sort of click in and sort of spin around and see what is happening, where's all my trucks sitting, what's happening, what's the progress on site without even having to leave the office. So you're really finding putting these things out there, they really allow the management team to get that quick bird's eye view. Thanks, Abby. In addition to that, the system can also then be adapted to perform these autonomous security perimeter patrols. So using different sensors on the drone, like such as thermals, what you see in the imagery, we're able to then fly, train, and adapt AI models to provide detection. So looking for people, vehicles, and any other kind of other unusual activities as well. So performing these perimeter patrols, and this seems to speaking to some of our recent announcements as well, is a really beneficial application as well, because you're removing people from doing that sort of patrolling work. Thanks, Abby. And overall, looking at the market opportunities, a recent report that was done for the Department of Infrastructure as well just shows exponential growth in drone activities to date. We're really seeing drone flights are only expected to get larger and larger. And as Rocket DNA, we're quite excited to be part of that trend and the commercialization of that. Thank you.
Christopher, thank you. Thanks for the presentation. So just in terms of your research and development, what sort of technology are you exploring?
Yeah, so we've built the hardware product, and we'll continue to iterate that to make sure that these units are pretty much remain low touch as they operate, with no one around them. And we're seeing more and more extreme environments and in terms of requests of where to place these units, using solar power and really where there's just no one around for hundreds of kilometers, and continuously keep improving them so that the systems become sort of self manageable and servicing as well, that you only really need to sort of touch them once or twice a year. On top of that, a lot of our R&D focus is within the software realm. We find a lot of these unique customer requests are looking to automate processes such as, again, not only just detecting people and vehicles, but detecting boulders, detecting weeds. We've encountered cattle and sheep. So it's quite unique on the amount of models and sort of solutions that we're building for the end user.
Now, you've got that $1 million unsecured debt facility. Will that amount be contributing towards R&D, or how else will that be used to contribute to Rocket DNA's growth?
Yeah, so pretty much we're quite happy with the step where we're at the moment with the R&D. A lot that those funds have traditionally been sourced from one of our major shareholders as well, because we got a lot of work in the pipeline at the moment. We're doing, with any kind of new technology, customers always want to trial and test and, start with one single unit. And when you're doing B2B, enterprise sales, your customers have got a long list of requirements. So especially in the tier one space, they, safety, cybersecurity, the logistics, the planning, the first unit just really tends to be the longest, because you've got to sort of fulfill these requests. So we're using those funds really to make sure that we're getting ingrained within these enterprise customers and ensuring the trials are going well. But we're expecting, the units 2, 3, and 5 to go a lot quicker.
And Christopher, just lastly, can you explain the importance of renewing and expanding the contract with the Anglo American?
Yeah, so Anglo American was a unique opportunity, and it's a pretty good, I guess, sort of baseline for how the rest of our contracts go. So when you're deploying new tech, you're putting it out there, they're trialing it on a month-to-month sort of basis. Then they give you a 3-month PO, then a 6-month, and then within sort of a 12-month period, they give you a contract for 2 years. And that's really how we developed our relationship with Anglo as well, and how we see it played out with other large miners. And we're happy to sort of take that process and that flow. And we're very glad to have Anglo American on as one of our good customers.
Chris, thank you so much for your time. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Peter. Good luck.